Hola, welcome to Ida's Kitchen. Bienvenidos. My name is Ida Lugo McAllister, and I am going to demonstrate how to prepare baked empanadillas. Empanadillas al horno. The empanadillas are half-moon shaped, flour-based dough that can be filled with a variety of meat or seafood mixtures. Other popular dessert fillings include guava paste or a combination of cheese and guava paste. The empanadillas can also be fried. Baking, however, is a much healthier version. In Puerto Rico, the half-moon shaped dough is also referred to as pastelillos. The empanadillas are sealed by folding the edges of dough, while the pastelillos are sealed by using the tines of a fork around the edges. Let's start preparing some of the ingredients for the dough. In a bowl, add 3 cups of all-purpose pre-sifted flour along with 1/2 teaspoon of low-sodium salt. Mix well using a whisk and set aside. Place 1 3/4 sticks of chilled unsalted butter on top of cutting board and cut into 1/4 inch slices. Place in a bowl and store in the refrigerator until ready to use. In a measuring cup, pour 1/2 cup of skimmed milk and add 1 whole large egg. With a whisk, beat until egg and milk are completely combined and have a uniform color. I will be using a food processor to make the dough. You can either use the dough hook or blade to knead the dough. I prefer to use the blade. You will also need a 6-inch cookie cutter to cut the dough in circles. If you don't have one, then you can use Goya's guava paste container, which measures exactly 6 inches. We can start preparing the dough. I already placed the flour mixture into bowl of food processor. Let's cover bowl with lid and lock into position. Select speed number 3 and switch on the food processor. Add the slices of butter one by one through the opening of lid. Mix until the butter is totally incorporated into the flour mixture. When the flour mixture has a cornmeal texture, we can start pouring the liquid. Cover bowl with lid and lock into position. Using the same speed setting, gradually pour the beaten egg mixture through the opening of lid. Mix until a dough is formed. The dough is formed after 1 minute of kneading. Remove dough from food processor and gently shape dough into a ball with your hands. For your information, the ball of dough will not have a smooth surface because we don't want to overwork the dough. Place on top of plastic wrap and cut cover completely. With the palms of your hands, press down gently on top of dough to flatten and shape into a rectangle. While the dough is chilling, you can prepare the meat filling known as picadillo. Picadillo is usually prepared with ground beef, but I prefer ground turkey. I will post a link of my YouTube video on how to prepare picadillo on the comment section of this video. This recipe will yield 12 empanadillas. For this cooking demonstration, I will only prepare and bake 6 empanadillas. It's time to roll out the dough. I removed the dough from the refrigerator and unwrapped it. First, let's cut the dough in half with a dough cutter. For your information, each half will yield 6 empanadillas. Wrap the other half in place in refrigerator until ready to use. Lightly sprinkle surface and rolling pin with flour. Roll out dough to 1/8 inch thick. The dough has been completely rolled out. Using a cookie cutter, gently press down on dough to cut out a 6-inch circle. Repeat this process. Lift each 6-inch circle and place on a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. Use the leftover dough to roll out 2 more 6-inch circles. We just finished cutting 6 6-inch circles of dough. We can now fill the dough with the meat mixture. Place at least 1½ tablespoons of the meat mixture in the center of circle. The meat mixture should barely contain any sauce or liquid. Fold the circle in half moon shape. With your fingers, press down around the edges to seal completely. Lift the empanadilla and place on one hand. With the other hand, begin to twist the edges into a curl, folding the edges inward and pressing down. Continue folding the edges in this manner until the empanadilla is completely sealed. Place on cookie sheet lined with parchment paper as you seal them. Preheat oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's prepare the egg wash. Beat 1 large egg along with 2 teaspoons of water using a whisk. We can now brush the empanadillas with egg wash. These 4 are done. You normally brush the egg wash on top of dough, but I prefer on both sides. The egg wash will provide a light, shiny, golden color. Bake the empanadillas for 20 to 30 minutes or until golden brown on both sides. I would recommend to check them every 10 to 15 minutes for doneness, because the time and temperature can vary based on the amount and size of the empanadillas. After 30 minutes of baking, the empanadillas are golden on both sides. The dough is absolutely crispy with a beautiful golden shine. See how the flaky crust is completely filled with the meat mixture. The empanadillas are served as a snack or appetizer and are normally accompanied with a cold or hot beverage. For your information, our empanadillas and pastelillos are known as empanadas in other Latin countries. In Puerto Rico, empanadas are basically cuts of meat dipped into beaten eggs and coated with bread or cracker crumbs. They are either fried or baked. I am ready to take a bite of the empanadilla. Wow. The dough is very flaky with a buttery taste. And the meat filling is seasoned perfectly. ¡Qué rico! Absolutely delicious. All I need is a cup of Puerto Rican coffee. I hope you have enjoyed watching my YouTube video on how to prepare baked empanadillas al horno.